many of you probably heard my eulogy for Ryder earlier. This is the horse, the carriage horse, who was literally worked to death like so many, but right now there's 200 other horses right now that are being abused and worked to death. And one of my missions in life is to put those animal abusers out of business. Who's with me on that? So we have a bill in the New York City Council. It is called Ryder's Law, in honor of Ryder. We have a new report coming out soon that will, that will detail that it is worse than ever for these horses since Ryder was worked to death. They are still being abused. They are still being criminally abused with zero consequences. So the only way to end this and make New York City a truly compassionate city is to pass Ryder's Law. So I know all of you here probably have a phone, right? I'm gonna ask you for one favor. Tomorrow's Monday. If all of you could make one phone call to a council member who's very important. Her name is Lynn Shulman. She is in charge of the health committee where Ryder's Law is. If all of you call tomorrow, it's going to get her attention. So if everyone, get your phones out, I'm gonna give you a number, and it will literally take 2 minutes of your time, that's it. You just post the number, but I'm gonna give it to you now just in case. If you wanna text it to yourself, it is 718-544-8800, and this is Council Member Lynn Shulman. You call, you say, hi, I live in New York City, or wherever you live. Please pass Ryder's Law. These horses are being abused and worked to death. It's 718-544-8800. And while I have you all here, it's very important that we have the attention of the elected officials. And one way to do that is through social media and the power of the people. All of you here, I want to do all of you chanting, and I'm going to tweet this to all of the council members, make sure they all see it. So the chant is going to be, we're going to do it in unison. It's going to be, there's no excuse for horse abuse, pass Ryder's Law. I know we have some loud voices here. If everyone can do that, we're just going to do it a few times. Be as loud as you can. This is going to go to Lynn Shulman, to all the council members. These kind of videos showing New Yorkers in New York that are demanding this are important. So I'm going to wait for that siren to go by. So it's going to be, there's no excuse for horse abuse, pass Ryder's Law. There's no excuse for horse abuse. Pass Ryder's Law. There's no excuse for horse abuse. Pass Ryder's Law. There's no excuse for horse abuse. Pass Ryder's Law. There's no excuse for horse abuse. Pass Ryder's Law. There's no excuse for horse abuse. Pass Ryder's Law. There's no excuse for horse abuse. Pass Ryder's Law. There's no excuse for horse abuse. Pass Ryder's Law. Thank you all so much. That was great. And if you all live in New York City, many of you do, in addition to calling Lynn Shulman, if you give a 2-minute call to your own council member, say, hey, I'm a constituent. Why are you letting horses be worked to death and abused on city streets? Please pass Ryder's Law. That will make all the difference in the world. And by the time next year rolls around, we'll be celebrating the victory of ending horse abuse in New York City. Thank you.